For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Calypso was the people's newspaper, the voice of the poor, flabo and labor, the watchdog that barked through the night, shining on corruption with its light. Today too many biting their tongue, afraid to sing what going wrong. When the ministers smile and shake them hand, the truth disappear from the land. Calypsonians running scared, only pro-labor lyrics in their head, or they're sending them day glow, day glow, day glow, day glow. Some of them know sing the wrong song, and they will go from Calypso jail straight day glow, day glow, day glow, day glow. The educator know, if he teach the wrong song, he too must go. Day glow, day glow, day glow. Bobble rampant all around, they want to sing about it but can't make a sound, or they're sending them day glow, day glow, day glow, day glow. Project stall and money gone, yet they're singing that no eating is wrong. The people asking where it all go, but nobody's singing so. Murder rate climbing to the sky, family grieving, mother cry. But they didn't sing about that, cause they know love for party is watching at. The streets demanding answers now, yet silence covering every brow. Cause if they challenge the status quo, they feel they go send them they glow. Remember when Pele and them sing and shake up every politician king? No party color could buy their voice. Truth was their weapon, not a choice. Calypso wasn't meant for praise alone, it was built to challenge every throne. But too many singing what they told, trading courage for silver and gold. Calypso in St. Lucia changed its role, used to reflect the people's soul. The cries from the village, the streets and the square, now too many acting like they don't hear. It was the voice of the people loud, speaking truth and making the nation proud. But now it's in the mission done go, just echoing the voice of the government show. The fisherman, farmer and vendor too, waiting to hear somebody speak what's true. But instead of holding real leaders' feet to the fire, some singing songs the ministers admire. Calypsonians running scared, only pro-labor lyrics in their head. Are they sending them day glow? Day glow, day glow, day glow. Some of them know sing the wrong song, and they will go from Calypso jail straight. Day glow, day glow, day glow, day glow. The educator know, if he teach the wrong song, he too must go to day glow, day glow, day glow. The people's voice not heard no more, truth getting locked behind the door. Or they sending you to day glow, day glow, day glow, day glow. The fisherman know, the farmer know, the vendor on the corner know. Calypso used to tell it so, now everybody fear day glow. Calypso was the people's voice before, speaking truths they couldn't ignore. It challenged power high and low, no matter which way the politics go. But now too often this story change, and many find this silence strange. Instead of saying what the people know, they echo what government show. The poor man cry, the youths want more, the mothers grieving from shore to shore. Yet if you sing what the people know, they go send you to the glow. To the line or they send you to the glow, the glow, the glow, the glow, the glow, the glow. When truth become a dangerous road, the glow become the heavy load. Calypsonians scared of the glow, the glow. Forget the truth, save the head instead. No, the glow, the glow, the glow. Bring back the voice of the people once more, and let Calypso settle the score.
The waste disposal site Dayglow, metaphor for where some of our politicians were dumped in the aftermath of the defeat that they suffered at the last general election. Song penned by Educator, and the other AI response to it was asking, where are some of those Calypsonians as we speak right now? Should be at Dayglow. Well, one individual who has survived, and that individual is now crowned Calypso Queen of St. Lucia, and will be providing you with the results during the course of our broadcast this afternoon. Of course, the Queen is ready. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin is on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin YouTube channel grow. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Jante is here going through your comments in the chat rooms and should be providing us with some updates, and I'll be entertaining your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. So there is no denying that the St. Lucia Labour Party administration feeling the heat is under tremendous pressure. And that is because we are highlighting those critical issues in St. Lucia that warrant answers, warrant explanations. And those have not been forthcoming, particularly from a source. And that source is government, not the SLP, but government. There's a vast difference between a governing party and your government, consisting of people who ought to be apolitical, not looking at it from a particular color or political prism, looking at it from the perspective of how a state should be governed for the benefit of all and sundry. Whether you're a supporter of SLP, the ruling party, supporter of the opposition, or you're not interested in politics at all. And some people obviously, and unfortunately, do not know how to make the distinction. So there is this flyer that's been in circulation over the last few hours. And it says there that the St. Lucia Labour Party is heading to the market steps. And it indicates that. Castries market steps, we're coming. And of course, that's on behalf of the St. Lucia Labour Party, putting the SLP soldiers, supporters, and color fools on guard or on notice. But what should come first? You reporting to your base, supporters of the SLP, or you reporting to the people of St. Lucia? Because you have a lot to explain to the people. You can preach any kind of sermon to your supporters, and they will swallow it hook, line, and sinker. As if you don't even have to explain to them. You don't even have to report to them. They have reposed the unquestionable faith in you. They will never ask you pointed questions. They will never ask you to explain the fact that you have checks in circulation on social media with the all indication that they're being financed by the state, or it's coming from the coffers of a state agency like the St. Lucia Social Development Fund, SSDF. They don't want that kind of explanation. To hell with that. Who is at the helm of the government? The best prime minister ever. Who is responsible for the various ministries? An SLP parliamentary representative. So why ask questions? We don't care. We don't want to find out. As long as we have our government in office, that's all we care about. And also, we give high marks, high scores to our government and parliamentary representatives without being critical, without us doing the necessary checking or verifying or making the proper assessment with regard to the stewardship of the various government ministers and ministries and our prime minister, etc., to ascertain, for example, whether our finances are being properly utilized, so that when you say as a government to a struggling mother who has 2, 3, 4 children, particularly now getting all set for the reopening of school, that you cannot provide any kind of support to them, any kind of assistance, then you can give credence to that. But where thousands of dollars cannot be accounted for do you believe that this particular mother who is scrounging for a dollar here or there ought to accept your excuse when they're seeing checks being paraded on social media, the amount of $1,800, $400, $300, $800, etc.? So those are the things that the government need to explain to the people of St. Lucia. And I say already, some of the responses, people are saying to me that for so long now the SLP has been on its stomping ground, the Castries market steps, for decades. Who doesn't know that? Don't need to conduct any research to know that. We know that. But what kind of explanation will be provided to you when you have already made up your mind as a supporter of the SLP? We're deserving of explanations by those people we elected into office. And you're talking about St. Lucians, as I said earlier on, who are dispassionate. They don't care about SLP, don't care about UWP. They know they're suffering, but they don't want to know that taxpayers' finances are being wasted or cannot be accounted for. It is one thing to be told you have to make certain sacrifices. What we're experiencing at the supermarkets is as a result of imported inflation. It's one thing to be told all those things. And then you realize that this kind of belt tightening is not being practiced by your government. Then you feel betrayed. It's as if you're being told to make sacrifices, and those people are not managing your finances properly. They are not setting the example. And ahead of an explanation, we're not passing judgment. We're just saying that we due an explanation, and what better way to do that thoroughly than to address the nation, television, radio, and social media simultaneously. So, your responses to our question of the day. What is the strategy behind choosing the market steps over a nationwide broadcast? On the market steps, 7 months after winning 16-1, somebody says. And in response, somebody says, why are they still in campaign mode is beggars belief. My only guess is they are still trying to protect the so-called victory. Another response, SLP has been using the market steps for decades now to keep their national public meetings. Who gave him the authority to question it now? And by questioning this, as they have been doing on other talk shows, they see me as an enemy of the state. Somebody responds by saying, did you understand the question? Exactly. They're not interested in answering the question, particularly how the question was phrased. What is the strategy behind choosing the market steps over a nationwide broadcast? And who knows? We might be ahead of ourselves. Who knows? The Prime Minister will deliver an address to the nation within the next few days, within the next few hours, and this will be followed by a meeting of his SLP on the Castries market steps. Just maybe. Don't hold your breath, but maybe. That's how the sequence will be. National address to the nation, and then politicize the whole thing by taking to the Castries market steps. Let's wait. Another person says, smoke and mirrors, just more smoke and mirrors. Another comment, it is our university. Another person says, to debunk UWP lies. What has been happening over the last few days in St. Lucia involving the SSDF, etc. Crime, among other things. The high cost of living, the increase in the water rates by the Water and Sewerage Authority, etc. has absolutely nothing to do with any opposition political party or opposition politician. Nothing to do. How the Al Jazeera journalist Josh Rushing malmenated our Prime Minister, in the words of Williams, Mr. Bowtie, has nothing to do with the opposition or opposition politicians or the UWP. So they'll come and say that to debunk any lies by any individuals or any political parties, etc. And if you take to the platform and try to debunk lies of the UWP, then it would be inappropriate, inconsequential at this time. What you need to find out has nothing to do with the UWP, everything to do with good governance, the SSDF, etc. Some of your comments. Somebody says, because this is not a government, it's a political party which has no clue what governance means. Another comment. If the government used the market steps as a political party, there is nothing wrong in that, no matter how you try to spin it. The fact that it was said that SLP used the step, then it told me I need to know it was a political party using the step, an area it has been using for decades as its base. Again, Alison faded is a difference between the market steps, a difference between the political party, the SLP, and the government of St. Lucia. Another person says, please enlighten us, Tim. You've been in the political arena way longer than most of us. Plus, you're from the north. I am not in the political arena. I'm in a particular arena, the NewsSpin arena, but not the political arena. Then a comment, what is the strategy for you to ask stupid and senseless questions? Shaking my head. Then the person says, Tim, how offer you, man? This has been SLP platform for years on end to address the nation on anything. Is this a new thing? Isn't the William Peter Boulevard theirs for years as well? You don't address the nation. Joby Eugene, you don't address the nation from a political platform. If you do that, you are addressing your party faithfuls, your supporters, your hacks. That's what you're doing, whether it's UWP and the Boulevard, they're addressing their hacks. The SLPs addressing their hacks on the market step. But if you want to address the nation, listen to this. The nation. You're talking about people who don't care about politics. Rastafarians, Jehovah's Witness, Catholics, etc. People who don't support the UWP, don't support the SLP. They are just St. Lucians who care about St. Lucia. And what would happen on the market steps? You don't expect it to happen during an address to the nation. The kind of carnival atmosphere on the market steps, the waylay that would take place on the market steps. You don't expect a prime minister to address the nation being so blasé and flippant, etc. You need them to be circumspect, use the right words, be disciplined, and address the various issues that are important not only to your base or your supporters, but to the entire citizenry, including children who might be watching. All right, that will do it as far as your responses to our NewsSpin question of the day. What is the strategy behind choosing the market steps over a nationwide broadcast? And I'm sure you're discerning enough to understand that the Prime Minister is being very careful in what he uses the address to the nation for. When it's critical issues, crime, SSDF, etc., don't expect an address to the nation. He gives us due to the public sector workers of St. Lucia an address to the nation. He wants to boast about so-called economic growth and address to the nation. Anything that would indicate that the government has been found wanting in a particular area and needs to provide clarification to the St. Lucian public, don't expect that. For example, don't expect the Prime Minister to use an address to the nation, to address and to disclose to you what amount, the nature of the funds that were used to pay this football club, Arsenal, if it's not millions of pounds or millions of EC dollars, etc. What's the nature of the deal? Don't expect him to do that. So you have to be discerning enough to understand what he's using this as a weapon basically against the citizens. Address to the nation about things that would paint him in a good light and his party in a good light. Crime, etc., when he has to account to the people, don't expect any address to the nation. It was last week, Thursday, on his program, Can I Help You?, that Richard Frederick made a particular announcement that he is taking a break from the show. Listen.
Albert, before we take any calls, I just want to say, for you and listeners, you all will miss me for a little while. Molas, I need a break. Bro, even tonight I told you I wasn't going to come. You told me, because I feel sure. I feel. But now we're on a break, okay, I need to put Chebe Fotla for Yonde jeudi.
Okay.
You'll have to hold the fort. I'm overwhelmed. So I just need a little break.
Yes, of course.
Okay?
Yes.
Probably go to hibernation for a while.
Yes,
I say I feel in my shop, I need a little break. So I'll let Albert do his thing for a bit. And I will be in the background. I just did. You know when you feel you need a break, you feel overwhelmed? That's how I feel right now. So I do believe Albert will do a good job, and he needs me. I'm always a phone call away. I can assist. I will be around, but, to deliver a good quality show, I could tell you it takes the entire day. And so I want to pass on that burden of responsibility on my partner for a while. I just want to be a little eased off a bit and to take a break.
Enjoy your rest, Richard Frederick. NewsSpin continues on the air. And without boast, God spare, I have the stamina to continue. So, in your absence, NewsSpin continues. Good afternoon to you, Janti. Let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, Tim, it will snow before the country gets any explanation. I hope they answer all the questions that have been asked. Over on Facebook, our first comment reads, Tim, you bad so. We don't have Calypsonians, we have parrots. Educator got nothing for blowing his compressor on Saturday. Tim, as I see it, government and SLP, same thing, member guy. We have another comment here saying, that's good, they will clean those steps. 16-1, but heading to the market steps 7 months later. Give Gumption what he deserved next time. A few comments here reading, protest action should have started from the week after the Josh rushing situation. St. Lucians are cowards. Timothy, it is very sad what our country has become. Mr. Al Jazeera should go to the market steps with a camera and Google Translator on deck. Some newsspinners here saying, Tim, in black and white, that's the base. It says that the base is more important to them. Will Richard be on the market steps? Then we all, UWP, will be there too, asking for RF's resignation. They are campaigning already. Wow, this is early. Months after the election, the mood is really red. Lucians, look out. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, the supporters like they are brainwashed. Exactimo. That's the concern of many St. Lucians. My political party is the government of the day. I don't care what happens. I will continue to support my party in wrongs and in lies. PJP needs to get out from government. He is not doing a good job. We have another comment here saying, if it's not SLP, everything else doesn't have a voice. That's how the SLP supporters see it and think. What's the reasoning for the market steps meeting? I thought it was said that their 16-1 mandate spoke volumes. SLP is all about campaigning and the market step is for campaigning. Yet another comment here saying, Tim, we might see the Peters move from Sufra to cash trees before PJP addresses these current serious matters. Anything that comes from the market step is not a genuine response of accountability. And our final comment, Red International Market Steps University. What courses do they offer?
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. Let's hear from you right now at 452-2979. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. WhatsApp message. I think the SLP government has realized many people are disappointed in their performance, and so they're trying to reassure their supporters by having their meeting on the usual market steps and to launch the usual attack on the opposition. I think also to see a number of people in attendance. It's as if the SLP is addressing their people and not the nation. Some more of your messages. Somebody says that, Tim, why do you think the market steps is chosen? Simply because there's rum shops all around and it will be red t-shirts and drunkenness, according to a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, Richard looks flushed with disappointment and regret. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says via WhatsApp, Tim, in my opinion, the wrong person was crowned Calypso Monarch. How can you crown someone who sang a song about women becoming baby machines for a one-time $1,000 and a song gloating about the last election results? There were much better messages that could have been awarded. For example, Colorful and English Teacher. T.C. Brown, for example, should have placed higher or maybe even win instead of ready. Somebody says the RF need a brick. What a rat says in the roof is not what it says in a trap. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you on the air.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling on the behalf of what I heard you played about Richard Frederick coming and speak on the air. Was that the first day he was speaking about something?
That was last Thursday, sir, on his program. He said that he's taking a break.
He's taking a break. He should take a big break because what he did, everybody is talking about it, and that's not right for a minister to be doing these kind of things.
No, we don't know. Caller, we don't know that he did anything wrong. That's what the police is investigating. Yeah, so we have no evidence that he did anything wrong.
Okay, so he have not done anything wrong.
No. We have no evidence that he did anything wrong, caller.
All right. Because I was saying if he had did something wrong, why is he still in the house? Because he should be at home or someplace. They should not be in the house. If he had not done anything else.
Yeah, but caller, he was elected. He was elected by the people, and the people can determine when they want him out and whether they want to keep him as the parliamentary representative. And for him in government as a minister, it is for the prime minister to decide.
Okay, that's very nice. Okay.
All right, sir. You too. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. And somebody has just written there, Bonjour, comrade. Happy Vaval season. Do you think the judging should move to the format of American Idol, Voice and Dancing with the Stars? In other words, let the people decide by electronic voting. Another WhatsApp message. Chicken rum and Mapui fixes everything for Labour supporters. Another WhatsApp message. There is no transparency, neither accountability. I believe RF break should be interpreted as resignation. Finally, already knew PJP had chewed more than he can swallow, according to a WhatsApp message. See if we have some more. Somebody says that, Tim, does the CARICOM members follow what's going on in St. Lucia? involving the government and the Prime Minister being reluctant to relieve Mr. Frederick from his duties because it's unacceptable. Some more messages, another comment, and it reads, Tim, addressed to the nation means the nation of 180,000 people. That means as many possible will be listening over social media, radio and television. Not the few are able to make it to the market steps for the fun of it. Shaking my head. Let's see. Any more of your messages? Another person says there, Hi Tim, how noble. He needs a break. If it was somebody else, he would be shouting from the pulpit. Now he needs to answer questions. Elas, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your messages. RF thinks taking a break from his show, hoping that the dust will settle and memories will fade. Richard gets the sense that there is a paradigm shift and his political fortunes may be changing, according to a WhatsApp message. Let me see if I have some more of your messages to go through. Another person says there, to all politicians, UWP or SLP or any other party, show the people how much you serve in our interests. Can some second my motion? If the country is left in debt after any length of time, the minister should get no perks and no pension. Why reward those guys for a bad job? Some politicians show how genuine you are and second the motion. That's according to a WhatsApp message. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Buddy has just written a WhatsApp. It reads, keep on blaming the opposition while the country is sinking. Captain Philip, Mr. Prime Minister, what's your plan for St. Lucia and your people you claim to love? Hypocrisy. One message I have for those people who believe they are untouchable is nothing lasts forever. Only the word of God will last forever. The person continues, all of a sudden you need a break. You ain't seen nothing yet. And that's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your messages. And it says that, Tim, in the real world, this minister would be forced to tender his resignation. Tim, I state, in the real world. To my attention again to you, Janty. Let's find out what you have for us as by way of an update from regarding comments extracted from the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, so a break from his show but not from government, and St. Lucians see nada. We need special people to run this country, not these people that's in power now. Excuses cannot be heard for the people of this country. Why are we worrying because we don't have a good leader? The first Prime Minister was the best, Sir John Compton. Over on Facebook, our first comment reads, them fellas lucky that they are not in the Middle East because surely the steps would have been making news. Market steps will not help. PJP has failed. I plead the fifth today, but in the same breath, when will Rick Wayne give his take on all that is happening? I really need to hear him. We have another comment here saying, from December the 1st to now, no work budget has passed. The PM to decide, but he will never, not a word, not a word. Poor job. He can't even take a trip. A few comments here reading, Tim, government has to put that airport redevelopment plan into action. On Saturday, it was embarrassing to experience pouring rain into the aircraft, and there were babies there as well. You got soaked. In 2026, this cannot continue to be that way. The world is watching and experiencing. What a shame. Why is this, our cultural events, being compromised and hijacked by Robin Hood administration? Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I think we have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Somebody says that I think we should have a coup d'etat and chase Mr. Pierre into exile like the Haitians did to Aristide. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Obviously, we don't want to go down that route at all. We can ill afford that. Okay, I think we have a call on the line. We'll take that call. Good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I'm a little troubled with a few things happening. Number one, the members of the SLP were quick to encourage the UWP to release rebellions when there was the speculation of the incident. Yet nobody is trying to push, the SLP members are not trying to push Richard out, which they should, even during the investigation, irrespective of what the outcome is, similar to what happened with rebellions. Excuse me. Also, I believe PJP is sort of scared of doing something with Richard in terms of taking off the portfolios from him because of a few things in my mind. Number one, PJP is in charge of SSDF, and it will come to make him look worse if that becomes a bigger issue for him. Number two, Richard is an independent member who's serving with PJP. He can tell PJP, you all never actually accepted me as a member of the SLP, and therefore to hell with you all, and represent just this Cashew Central seat. Therefore, that will put PJP in another quagmire. And knowing Richard, if he gets real upset with them and they do him wrong, he'll start to spill the beans, and PJP and he and all will be running for cover. So I don't think anything will happen to Richard. I think they'll shield him until the matter disappears. Thank you, Tim.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing your point of view with us. But don't expect, caller, the St. Lucia Labour Party to just throw Mr. Frederick out of the cabinet of ministers. That is for others to do, okay, in terms of applying the pressure. As you said, the SLP was in opposition, applied pressure on the UWP government, and that resulted in the dismissal of not one but two government ministers during its reign between 2016 and 2021. So on this occasion, it is for the opposition, which right now is the UWP, to apply the pressure to see how it can force the government to relieve Mr. Frederick of his ministerial responsibilities. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says that the SLP administration is serving a second term as the government, and still they blame the opposition for everything. It's like the campaign mood is never over with this administration. Shaking my head. The Prime Minister is afraid of doing what's needed to be done regarding Mr. Frederick because we all know he fears this minister. If it was Dr. Kenny Anthony, I'm sure the right thing would be done. Again, that is according to a WhatsApp message, somebody just expressing an opinion via this platform. Another WhatsApp message reads, good afternoon. I've been hearing that France, or by extension Martinique, may eventually require St. Lucian citizens to obtain visas to enter Martinique. Could you please confirm whether there is any truth to this or if it's simply a rumor? For the moment, all of your listeners, thank you. We cannot confirm this. We've heard, like you, people are making this statement, putting the St. Lucian citizenry on notice that France and by extension Martinique may eventually impose visa restrictions on St. Lucian travelers to those French territories, but we cannot confirm now. If this thing has been circulating for the last few days on the island, one would have expected by now the relevant authorities, that will include the Ministry of Responsibility for External Affairs, to address that issue. But so far, not a word from them. And those are the critical issues, those questions, those lingering concerns that you want answers for. We have a call via the landline. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we have lost that call. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages and WhatsApp message, and it reads, Tim, it should not be difficult for the Prime Minister to have Richard Frederick to step down. He's not a member of the party, and with that mandate, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference if he is in the cabinet. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. Another person says there, good afternoon. I wonder why the Prime Minister was so quick to get rid of Stanley Felix and had no problem in addressing the media, yet he's like a moo-moo in this latest issue concerning Mr. Frederick. There must be something he is afraid of. Some more of your WhatsApp messages. And let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. We have a call on the line. Let's go to that call. Yeah. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Not too bad. We're talking about how we covered. What else do people want us to do? It's just like the opposition. What are you expecting the opposition to do? What can all the opposition do right now? Mr. Poleon?
What do I expect the opposition to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, Caller. If the opposition has put its house in order, it'll be more effective in this particular environment right now. The opposition is just expressing its concerns, its opposition to what is happening via press releases, and the UWP itself has its own issues that he has to attend to. Those issues have not been ironed out.
Very well, and even they have their own issue to deal with after the election.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying, the writing was on the wall, you know. And let me explain that. The opposition trying its best to preach to the people of St. Lucia, not campaign, you know, educating them about the serious issues if they did not make the right decision. But they still went ahead and do what they want. So right now, the opposition is by the wayside monitoring and watching them. Maybe when it reached to a point, even up to now, if you are asking them to cooperate and let us demonstrate to stand for our right, they're not going to come. They're not going to come. So then right now there, the problem is, I know it's big, but it's affecting both opposition and even those who still hold this government by the wayside. It's affecting them. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing them. But they just want to protect the party. But the problem is bigger than we think. When you have an opposition that just lost an election, 2021 it was 15-2, 2026 16-1. Opposition, it's not easy to rebound back from the opposition and to get back to put some pressure on the winning party, which have a powerful mandate in the House of Parliament, and do what they want with it. That's the problem, you know. Everybody talks about
so the opposition cannot be effective outside of Parliament. To be effective, it must be in the Parliament of St. Lucia.
I am not saying that, Mr. Poleon, but I'm saying it gives you more leverage, Mr. Poleon. Let us say you had 11-6. It make you feel better. Even when UWP was in government and the Labour Party had 16 in Parliament, they wanted a vote of no confidence against Alan Chatsney. That almost making them look like a champion. You see? But right now the opposition only have one seat, and the one seat, as you know, is in Mikut South.
Call us up making excuses for the opposition, okay?
I am not making
that's exactly what you're doing. Don't make excuses for the opposition. Don't.
Anyway, briefly, I am not making opposition, but what I'm saying, I know people understand what I'm saying. What I am simply saying right now there, the opposition is at its weakness is 16-1. They can talk even on your chat. You hear people still bashing them while they're still in opposition.
So why don't you expect the people to bash the opposition if, after suffering this kind of defeat, 6-7 months after election, you cannot put your house in order? You don't expect people to bash you? You're not learning from that kind of embarrassment that you suffered at the polls?
I agree with you if you're not learning. But what I'm saying, Tim, you have a political leader in Parliament, you have a seat. And I told you the last time, even if election were to call tomorrow, don't be surprised with the result. But Mikut South is one constituency that will not go down for Labour Party because they know how the Labour Party operate. They know them very well. Why the others still on the back, even in Alan's own party, still on his back, blaming him for losing the election. But they didn't win their seat. They couldn't win their seat. And that is where I have the problem with them. Alan can win all the time on 3 consecutive time in Mikut South election. None of you, even those that have seats, still lose it. So who is the problem? Who are the problem? Anyway, have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. We have a WhatsApp message, and somebody interesting is monitoring the broadcast, and that is Countryman. Yes, a real countryman. It's his WhatsApp message reads, "The opposition is out of touch with the people of the country. The opposition speaks too technical regarding comments people can't understand. And it continues there. Big up from Countryman. Mr. Richard Frederick on St. Lucia politics is backwards. Remind me of Jamaica in the 70s and 80s. Opposition is effective. Opposition as thought can be effective outside Parliament. Stop making excuses for the opposition. And Countryman also says caller is dunce. Opposition is not learning. Caller is out of touch. Big up. That's coming from Countryman. Lucifer is on the line. Good afternoon. Sir, you're on the air. Lucifer.
Hello.
Yes. How are you?
Hey, Saudi fue.
Well, I got some. Lucifer.
Moi live moi capable ba personnel.
Oh, live.
Okay, all right. Bon après-midi fue.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Ba nouvelle gente.
Good afternoon.
Tim, even the blind man can see that this is a political rally, a PR campaign. But, I find it ironic that they don't understand PR the way they think they do, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it.
It does not always work. When you're doing PRs, there are occasions when you have to take the people into your confidence. You remember that little incident involving Flo just a few Sundays ago? Monday,
yes,
when Fran was on NewsSpin, you realize how she handled that issue, that problem?
Yes.
Okay. They owned up. They apologized. It was all mea culpa. We'll do good by you. We're strategizing. We're trying our best to rectify the problem, etc. No excuses that one could have determined that you're just trying to get your way or wiggle your way out of a problem. You understand? And that is that is what I suspect the SLP will be doing on the cashless market steps. But my advice to them, address the nation first and then take to the market steps. But they won't listen to it.
Yes, that would be the proper thing to do. Remember a few months ago, you and I were discussing, and I told you the political landscape in St. Lucia is switching. It's becoming Americanized, where every day is a political rally, Tim. Every day in the U.S., it's a political rally somewhere. You understand what I mean, Tim?
Yes, sir.
So the people never have a chance to rest or to unite because they're always constantly fighting each other over politics. And that's not very healthy for a democracy, at least in my opinion. Okay? The other thing I want to address, Tim, which is it's somewhat personal to me. I currently have an aunt of mine who's laying in the St. Jude's Hospital, and we're not sure if she's going to make it. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, she's at the stadium. So this is not an address to any government or any particular party. It's just we the people of the South, need a proper hospital, Tim. And I don't know if it's cry, I have to come and cry on radio for it to happen. But my grandmother died in that stadium. 2 uncles have already left there. That's my third aunt on her way out there. And I don't know, I just don't want to lose any more family members in that place or want anybody else to lose their family in that place. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that news.
I'm sorry too for her son, and for the rest of my family. But anyways, as I was saying, we the people of St. Lucia we went against our own selves when we voted against health insurance. As I always say, I live in a country where I have health insurance, Tim, and it has been a saving grace for a man who's in my position, right? Because I suffer from chronic illness.
Yeah.
So it has been a saving grace for myself. And I advise St. Lucians next time it comes up to please take it into serious consideration. And finally, I heard the last comment you were reading from Countryman, and I hope Countryman is listening. I share the same sentiments, which I have also diverged on this show, that I think the UWP government
in order to win back the people of St. Lucia, they really need to dumb down the rhetoric, Tim. They really need to dumb down the rhetoric. They need to stop putting it in their minds that they're speaking to an audience of highly intelligent people. Mahadu, Saint-Lucien, individually, yes, brilliant. Collectively, couillon. Okay? Mediocrity is what impresses us. One day VAT, free, and small little checks and little things like that, Tim, is what people who live in predominantly third world countries love things that are tangible. So if they can go to their boss and ask for a tank of gas as opposed to healthcare, that's what they want, because they could easily attain it. They could go and say, "Hey, boss man, give me a tank of gas there, man." So to them, that's an achievement. They can go to the boss and say to the boss, "Oh, gas, once I say I see gas, I can gas stuff, gas, I just balance gas, I say go now in position." When someone mentioned paradigm shift in the comments, though, we need one of that thing. We need that to happen, but it's not something, as I say, it's gonna happen overnight. And I encourage those, as I quote everyone I can. Buju Banton has an old Jamaican saying, goes, "Who knows better has to do better, and each one needs to teach one." So starting from today, right now, you have a neighbor or friend, someone whose reading skills are not that sharp, you help them out. Someone whose math is not that sharp, you help them out. You do your best to try to kill ignorance in our community. And never you, as an individual, take when someone says to you that you are ignorant as an insult. Because everybody is ignorant about something. Ignorance is a state of mind of not knowing. Mm-hmm. So le you got some we knew one the messy no tout in you. This land by the latte massive. Make us try serve as much as myself. Who try elevate in your small. So anyways, Tim, big up Senior Rigobert. Anyway, sit down, lay down or stand up in the world. I love you guys, St. Lucia, and everybody. Take care of yourselves. All right, bye.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, we have some more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, presenting the winners of Calypso 2026. And we have a whole lot more. Who knows, we might have a few surprises for you coming from one or two of our callers. Somebody might just call and make a revelation. You never know, because this is the most monitored talk show in the world. Stay with us.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka ale ko Europa. Yo ni tout pam pour toute condition. Ki pou kay, ki pou business, yo ni pli mer pou y pam paset lisi. Yo ka ranger pam aussi ki besoin service. Brand pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est major. I bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten mwen a cholman. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pump glo Léo anda pour les nerfs, orange et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452-0763.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurance is accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
Turn up the vibes with Flow! Flow is turning up the vibes with 400 rewards this carnival season. Sign up for postpaid, add it to your internet, and turn up your rewards. From free grocery vouchers and big handset discounts to free event tickets and costumes with the baddest bands. Flow customers are turning up 400 times. Sign up in store or visit discoverflow.co to claim your reward. Terms and conditions apply.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
An supposé, ça c'est dernier kwas de l'eau. En temps cette lisi, tant ka wem ka vini pli long ek pli wed, ek sous de l'eau nou ka cheche. Ek la plia ka tobe pli fort ek pli terrible, ça ka dommage kay nou ek système glou nou. Mais nous sa changer ça. Nous sa conserver de l'eau ek protéger sous de l'eau nou. Chaque ti démarche nous point ça wede. Wasko ka travaille ensemble et puis agent pour manager sous l'eau et ka permettre pour siwe de l'eau en temps qui ka veni. Mais nous besoin si pauvre. Ensemble, nous sa protéger de l'eau nous, santé nous et ka siwe de l'eau pour l'autre génération. Un petit pas, ça mène gros changement. On nous protéger de l'eau nous et la vie nous pour temps qui ka veni. Pour plus d'informations, visitez wascosandlucia.com.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin, and it is on Power 97.9 FM. Remember, we read a WhatsApp message early on. Somebody was querying whether France has decided to impose visa restrictions on St. Lucians opening to travel to its French departments, including Martinique, Guadeloupe, etc. Somebody sent me a flyer, and that's from the French ambassador, and it's dated July the 1st. It reads, "The French Embassy in St. Lucia would like to remind St. Lucians that they may continue to travel to Martinique without a visa for a stay of 15 days or less, up to a maximum of 120 days in any 12-month period. Reports circulating on social media since 30th of June claiming that a visa requirement has been introduced are false. Those reports are false. This is coming from the French embassy. Now we have an open letter to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, penned by the leader of the parliamentary opposition, Mr. Alan Chasney, and it reads, "Dear Prime Minister Pierre, I write to express my profound concern about your inaction regarding the serious allegations against Minister Richard Frederick. The public has been made aware of allegations of sexual misconduct, misuse of public funds, and abuse of public office and authority, along with the reported detention of Mr. Frederick by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force in connection with those investigations. Whilst we as citizens must await the final outcome before drawing any conclusions, matters of this gravity demand an immediate and decisive response from the head of government. You should not need to be reminded that public office carries responsibilities and standards that extend beyond the parameters set by criminal law. Ministers are required to maintain the confidence of the public and preserve the integrity of the offices they hold. A minister who is the subject of allegations of this magnitude cannot credibly continue to exercise the authority of the state while investigations remain ongoing. His continued presence in cabinet creates an unavoidable perception of conflict, undermines public confidence in the impartiality of the investigative process, and erodes trust in the institutions of government. The issue before you is one of ministerial accountability and political responsibility. The office of Prime Minister carries the constitutional responsibility to ensure that government is conducted in a manner that protects the integrity of public office and the reputation of St. Lucia. Our international reputation has already been severely damaged by the CIP scandal and its fallout, the most egregious effect being major restrictions on our people's ability to travel freely to the US, the UK, and Europe, a costly consequence you were warned about and failed to act upon. At this critical juncture, with our country continuing to appear on undesirable international lists, we can ill afford further scandal, least of all one rooted in allegations of such flagrant corruption. The continued retention of Minister Frederick in your cabinet is causing serious damage not only to the credibility of your administration, but to the reputation of our country as a whole. Our citizens expect that action will be taken and taken quickly. Your usual head-in-the-sand approach to serious issues has produced disastrous consequences for St. Lucia, and any further delay will necessarily raise legitimate questions about your own commitment to good governance. The appropriate course of action is clear. Richard Frederick must be removed forthwith from his ministerial post, pending the completion of all investigations. The people of St. Lucia deserve a government that places integrity above politics, accountability above expediency, and the national interest above self-preservation. St. Lucians deserve nothing less. Yours sincerely, Alan Chasney, leader of the opposition, and that letter is dated July the 13th, 2026. Let me turn my attention to you, Jante. Let's again find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment here reads, St. Lucia politics is filled with so much drama and fire, but what is done to make the people's lives better? Tim, with the high cost of living, what can $6.52 an hour do for the poor people? UK Labour fired Starmer for hiring someone with ties to Epstein. Is the St. Lucia Labour Party going to do the same? Another YouTube comment reading, vote for the Looney Tune Party of St. Lucia. Over on Facebook, our first comment reads, St. Lucians, this is an opportunity to give RF indefinite leave. There is no accountability in this country. Shame on the PM that he decided not to show true leadership and do the noble thing, teaching the youth of this nation that it pays to have integrity. The opposition right. Keep quiet and let solutions taste what they voted for. We have another comment here saying, educated men and women behave like chicken. Address to the nation on the market steps is campaigning. Nearly every weekend we have demonstrations over here in the UK, and it's not the opposition that leads it. Tim, leave UWP out of that. Where are the concerned citizens? SLP will stand by RF just like they did with Walter Fassois, Joachim Henry, Ernest Delay. They don't care about integrity in public office. A few comments here reading, where are the concerned hypocrites who were very vocal when UWP was in power? St. Lucians did not want the opposition, now you'll want them. Tim, leave the UWP out of it. This is what they voted for. Some news spinners are saying here, there is no opposition in St. Lucia, only a selfish Shasni. They don't have a house, far less putting it together. The opposition did not lose the election. Tim, did the UWP really lose that election? We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, Tim, didn't Alan Shasni want St. Lucians about the election? Who cannot hear has to feel. Simple. The opposition needs to take to the streets, protest, have their own market step meeting. We have another comment here saying, so you don't want the people to pay for what they did in the election? Opposition, stay quiet. Tim, I was getting excited thinking that Mr. Al Jazeera was watching NewsSpin. So that is not about Alan or UWP. The people of St. Lucia are the ones to stand and put pressure for what they want. Another comment here reading, how will they learn? Their butts need to burst. Tim, I 100% agree with you and countrymen. It is time people stop making excuses for the mediocrity of the opposition. 7 months after election, no convention in sight, same old failed strategy. The opposition can only get better by being honest about where they are and demanding better from our party. And our final comment, the hacks are supporting the nonsense that their party is doing.
Thank you so much, Auntie. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call in the landline. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello? Okay, we lost that call. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Reads there. When people want to give their opinions, please allow them to. And do not tell them that they are making excuses. You want to tell me how to do my job? If, in my opinion, somebody is making excuses, in this case for the opposition, I will say so. It continues. Also, why displace Philip J. Pierre's inability to govern onto the opposition? Put the blame where it belongs. Stop blaming UWP. They should not be in government, but they should help St. Lucia out of SLP's horrible governing. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. A call in the line. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. PW on the line, Timothy. Timothy, we all know that PW doesn't like the best bone in Richard Frederick. But that doesn't mean, Timothy, that because that situation has occurred with Mr. Richard Frederick, that certain individuals that are guilty or that has been accused of certain things have to call your program and try to vindicate themselves. I am talking about a call last week that you got from Mr. Jimmy Henry, Timothy. He started by saying, Timothy, that he was coming in from Barbados with 5,000 Bajan dollars. And everybody agreed that that 5,000 Bajan was not something illegal he was bringing in. 5,000 Bajan. But Timothy, did you bother to ask Mr. Jimmy Henry that even though $5,000 Bajan was allowed to come into the country, when customs asked him what was that source of that money, did he have an answer for that?
No, caller. In the first place, they made an error because they could not have asked him the source of that money. When
they can.
No.
If
Caller, hold on.
Did he get the money back?
I think he got his money, yes. But if he's allowed to carry a certain amount of money, and he did not surpass that amount, then you can't ask him the source of the money. It does not make sense. It does not make sense at all.
If customs get certain information about you, whether it's legal or not, they can still ask you what was the source of that money.
Yeah, but he got his money. All right. The point is, he got his money and he left with it.
You understand? But what I'm saying to you is that he knows that the money that he came in, he didn't have a source for that money.
Brother, you're not making any sense.
Knew that,
okay, thank you so much. Appreciate the contribution as always. Let's turn our attention to another WhatsApp message. And this one says, Tim, Julian Alfred made the whole world know Senusha again successfully. How beneficial was this to Senusha compared to the Arsenal deal? She will be at it again soon. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says that, Tim, remember that the SLP slogan has been protecting the victory, and we all can agree that Frederick had a big hand in both election victories for Pierre. Guess who is on the line via WhatsApp? Hello, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Boy, Tim.
Rick Wynn.
Yeah.
Fellas say you're hiding behind a project, the book.
Yeah, but I was off before the book. I'd stopped before the book.
Yeah, well, what's preventing you from taking a break? You know, yeah, we're living go ahead.
Tim, what I've taken a break from is commenting, you know. I have not taken a break from no interest or not following what's going on from every aspect and listening to everybody. You know. I am totally in touch. And remember, been there, done that. There is nothing going on right now that we've not seen 100 times before. One of your callers or one of your letters that you read there more than implied that St. Lucians are stupid. They are not even interested in their own interests. That if they want to win elections, they must dumb down and be stupid and talk foolishness so that the average person can understand. In other words, validating the suggestion that St. Lucians are too stupid to talk to, that they can't even interpret what they see for themselves, etc., etc. That is what we have on our hands. That is the biggest problem we have on our hands in this country. You know. Or don't talk about why you bringing UWP into that. That's another dumb talk. It's like the Labour Party calling and telling you why you bringing Labour Party into that. If one guy do a thing, why you calling Labour Party? That is the kind of delay tactics, the kind of decoy, the kind of stupidity that we listen to every day in the country. And we actually expect a country that thinks like that is going to move forward. A dumb country is going to remain a dumb country. It has to wise up to look in the mirror and see what's in the mirror, not look in the mirror and only see what's in their heads. There are a lot of people in this country who look in the mirror, but they don't see what's in the mirror, Tim. Not even that they can see. Yeah. They can only see what they are projecting into the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So our biggest problem is to wake up and smell the coffee. There is nothing, and it's food for thought. All we have is degrees of things getting more and more rotten and more smelly. But the problems that surround us right now have been with us a long time, and we did nothing. Just as we're doing nothing about the problems that we are now drowning in. There is no difference. The names change. The degree of disgust gets worse. But no change, Tim. Are you following that?
Very much so.
You want to challenge me on anything on that?
Not on that in particular, but I want to ask you, if you were the Prime Minister, what would you do instead of going to the market steps?
What would I do in what regard?
Beg your pardon?
What would I do with what regard?
Regarding the ongoing situation, what's happening with the SSDF?
The situation.
What's happening with the SSDF, Rick? What's happening with...
If I were the Prime Minister and the things I know. If I were the Prime Minister, with regard to his minister, Richard Frederick, I would determine for myself, am I insulted? Am I embarrassed? Am I comfortable? Do I see discipline at work? Do I feel proud of everything associated with the minister right now? If the answer is yes, I will continue to embrace him with love. If for me, those things are disgusting, I would ask him to thank you very much for your service. Go to where the people elected you. Does that answer your question?
That's your response to the question, sir. But I'll also ask you, would you weigh the implications of taking such a course of action?
Would I what?
Weigh the implications of taking such a course of action.
Of course I would weigh the implication, but that's not the point. The point is, would I be swayed by the implication? I don't think I'll be swayed by it. If I am not comfortable in a bedroom with a stinky person, etc., I will not continue to do that. And if that has an effect overall on my image, because to be complicit in something nasty is to be as nasty as the person who is committing the nastiness himself. So it says a lot that so far we have not heard discussed by any authority any of the allegations made. And by the way, we have a tendency in this country to ignore allegations. Allegations are things said about, well, allegations against ministers of government, are allegations made about us. And those allegations, as Bloom Cooper said, when the signs are out there that something is very wrong with the government and so on, just signs and allegations. When nothing is done to put those things to rest, the effect is as if the allegations were in fact true, and the consequences. You get me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it is important, it's imperative for the Prime Minister to account for his ministers of government when things are in the public domain that would be disturbing to any other people but us. Is that clear?
Absolutely.
Good. So it says as much about the Prime Minister as it does about the alleged culprit, because that's what it is, that he, and I'm careful on that one, that he appears to have nothing to say to the people at this point in time regarding those allegations, because those allegations have effect. The allegations, when allegations are made on public servants, they are not without effect. They embarrass the country, they hurt the country, they break faith in the government, all those things. And we've been dealing with that, by the way. I'm going to go back again, not yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with way back to the days of John Compton. That's why I feel in a position to say, been there, done that. When I wrote a certain story about John Compton, the priests mounted the pulpit against me, Tim. The priests, I'm not even going to talk about the others. People from the church, when Reverend Job saw some disgusting evidence of abuse of office and worse, all he could say was, if John the Baptist had been more careful, he might have not lost his head.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the guy who was the head of the Christian Council, faced with demonic crap, chose instead to keep quiet on the chance he might save his head, keeping quiet. Those things are there on the history books for us to read, More proof that been there, done that. A Prime Minister found himself in some serious waters. He never paid for it, at least not through the proper channels. He did pay, but not through the proper channels, and it did not necessarily have any effect, because had we put certain laws in place regarding the conduct of government officials at the time of John Compton, which they're all going to hate me for, are you bringing John Compton in that hypocrite, white sepulcher? You bring in John Compton in that because he put himself in there. And we, as his accomplices, put ourselves there that we cannot defend now, and all we can say, why you bringing John Compton into that? That is why I sit and I listen to this country killing itself. And by the way, my final point, your call up PW, I interviewed that man, what was his name from Denver?
Jimmy Henry.
I was surprised last week to hear him telling you all about the stories he wrote and so I interviewed that man. I think I did on TV as well. I certainly wrote an article. And I could find nothing that the guy did that would have warranted his resignation. I can find none. I suspect he himself is holding back the reasons he was given for wanting his resignation. I suspect he knows, because I don't know any, and there were no charges against the guy. And as you rightly said, there was no reason to question the money he had on. But it is obvious somebody had tipped off the customs, and perhaps it was a bad tip, and the customs moved for him because they figured they had reason to do that. But we don't know up to now what those reasons were, Tim.
No.
We just know the man from all sides committed nothing that warranted the treatment he got, and certainly did not warrant his resignation. Are you following me on that?
Absolutely.
So we're not mess. All of them, all the colors. We're not mess. We refuse to look past this matter of red and yellow. We refuse to do it, even though it's killing all of us, red and yellow. If we refuse to set our country straight, like the people who are saying, just think about it and analyze it. Well, they were warned and they voted for the government and let them take what they want. Let them take. You're taking it too in the neck. Whatever is one of us is taking as a result of bad governance, all of us are taking it, Tim. And finally, the hypocrisy again. The Al Jazeera reporter, we want to make him into something special and unique. We have had reporters in this country who are far more aggressive than Al Jazeera, as you well know, Tim.
Yes.
I have a whole tape of a press conference following the Helena affair that Mario Michel called. And that is worth treating your viewers one of these days to that tape, with me asking the man's questions relating to the whole Helena affair and his involvement in it. Because don't forget, he was their secretary, he was their lawyer.
Yes.
He made a lot of decisions that went bad. Made a lot of decisions that got Helena into trouble. And in other countries, considering the circumstances, he might very well have been asked to resign. Mario Michel, who became a judge and all those kind of things. Those who know the facts know it. But we've been tolerating and encouraging that kind of complicity for years and years and years. And when it's overwhelming us now, and we look at, where are men in Parliament? Your men in Parliament never were able to do anything without you, the people. Nobody, even the Labour Party, which is 16, whatever it is, can do nothing without the masses of Labour Party supporters coming out and beating their drums for them. Always the power is in the hands of the people. But when you don't appreciate that you have the power, that you must always look for hand-me-down help, hand-me-down whatever, look for a blackbird to help you, go into voodoo, go into Haiti, Alan this, Alan White, all that kind of crap. That's why we remain what we are, a bunch of stupid, idiotic people doomed to go nowhere. Thank you. I hope you still want to hear from Rick Wayne.
Thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate the contribution as always. Still to come, the results of the 2026 Calypso competition. You know that, but you'll get to see and you'll get to listen as well. Stay with the broadcast.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Every day, the pain is still there. back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurance is accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
We ready for the road, we ready for the road. We First National, your next move bold. We ready for the road, we ready for the road. We First National, your next move bold. Get ready for your next ride with the drive ahead from First National Bank. Enjoy up to 100% financing and rock bottom interest rates on new vehicle loans. Because we're not only here for you, we're driving ahead with you. For the road, we First National Bank, your next move bold. Visit one of our partner dealerships, any First National Bank branch, or firstnationalbankonline.com today. Promotion runs through November 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Lucilec kaveti ou pou point précaution diwan saison cyclone sa la. Mi an ti commission ki kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui poué ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outil ou ka servi pas vini moins ki 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you. Keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliothèque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Stop paying full price. With Flow, you can slash your bill in half. You heard right. Cut your mobile bill in half when you add mobile to internet. That's the most reliable Wi-Fi at home. Plus, all the data you need on the go. So don't wait. Double your connection and double your value for half the price. Add mobile to internet today. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow, hein. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Brand pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est Major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moins actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pump glo Léo en de couleur neuf, orange et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Time now for our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads: death from Venezuela's earthquakes rises to 4,490. Death from Venezuela's earthquakes rises to 4,490. the NewsSpin News of the Day. And we leave on that note MC Gilroy Hall with the results of the 2026 Calypso competition. Of course, we already know that the Queen is ready.
Starting with the third runner-up in position number 4 with a total of
732 points. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 4, please help me welcome
the man, Desroll. Position number 4. Third runner-up. Congratulations to you, my brother.
Receiving, yes, a total of $15,000.
732 points.
Yes,
wow.
folks.
Wow. I say wow because they will understand in just a short while.
Wow. What a wow, what a wow. And of course, it's
our
talent.
Third runner-up, 4th position, Desroll, 732 points. And of course, Dr. Ernest Hilaire presenting that wonderful check for $15,000. Hopefully one day an MC will get a check like that.
Of course. The MC Association is working in that.
Yeah, let me tell you.
We're working in that.
So we continue with the results for Calypso Monarch Final 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in position number 3, second runner-up with a total of
733 points.
1 point away from 4th position. I want you to put your hands together for our English teacher. Make some noise for T.C. Brown.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He opened the batting tonight and he scored 733 points.
Yes, 1 point difference.
Come on, St. Lucia, give some love to brother T.C. Brown.
T.C. Brown.
Oh, yeah, pick up yourself. And of course, the trophy presented by Ms. Tamara Gibson of CPMC. And the doctor presents that wonderful check.
And of course, T.C. Brown.
I like the coloring on the check. It really says colorful. Very unique.
And just to remind you, T.C. Brown walks away with a total of $20,000.
So, St. Lucia, we're moving on. We're moving on. We're bringing you the top 2 right now. With a total of 740.5 points. He is from the South Calypso tent. Make some noise for Gumption.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's right, Gumption, the first runner-up, walking away with a whopping $30,000.
Gumption!
Come on, give Gumption some love!
What a year.
Beaufort Posse, are you there?
What a year! This is a special year indeed. And we will tell you why shortly. A special year, 2026, as we get set to present to you our Calypso winner. And just to remind you, the winner will walk away with $40,000. Yep.
As he takes that photo, let me see you give Gumption some real Kaisolo.
Yeah!
Yeah! Job well done, my brother.
I like it.
Oh my God. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want to keep you here much longer.
No way.
The big one.
The winner.
The big one.
The winner.
The winner With a total of
768.5 points.
The ladies have it covered.
Ladies and gentlemen,
noise for Ready, our Calypso Queen.
Lord, in 2026, year of the ladies, our new Calypso Queen.
Let me get
Somebody that say ready.
Let's get that chant. Ready, 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 ready. Congratulations, my dear. Wow.
Congratulations.
Just a wow.
The year of the ladies.
And our carnival queens crown our queen
ever so
of
fitted.
Calypso 2026. What a moment. She receives a trophy from the chair of CPMC, Mr. Mara Gibson. And I tell you,
and also
a true monarch always treats the people every time. Acknowledging her people first.
Yes.
As she's about to start her reign. And ready, my dear. I have said it many, many times. She has been ready from day one for this particular moment. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me extend congratulations to her father, the one and only, the man Nahum Happy Jean-Baptiste. Big up yourself, bright brother.
And of course her tent.
And of course, that's right.
Yes, her tent. And she's walking with as well. $40,000.
Oh my God. Let me see all the ready fans out there. Give me a wave. Give me a wave. Those of you who have been waiting for so long, make some noise.
Calypso finest ladies, are you ready?
Be very careful what you ask for, cause you might suddenly get it. Usually a Koopa they occur, all your life you go regret it. In confidence you wish for power, Jappy to ring the bell, but by the first bell it was over. Let's